Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasani Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. On this most auspicious day, Shri Krishna Janmashtami, we celebrate the apparent birth of Krishna, who was unborn. But as we discussed this morning, mainly to please his devotees, out of mercy on his devotees, Krishna appears. This is a very wonderful day for devotees to take their spiritual birth. Anyone can have a material birth. Material births go on in any species of life. But in this human form of life, this conditioned soul gets the rare opportunity to take a spiritual birth. We shouldn't be proud of our material birth. Creatures are being born at every moment. But to have a birth into Divya Gyan, divine knowledge, and Divya Nam, the holy name of Krishna, that is a success of human life. Success has to start somewhere. And initiation is the official beginning of success. The initiate is officially enrolling in the Bhakti Academy, the Academy of chanting the holy name. Let us discuss about the chanting, because those who are taking first initiation are receiving Harinam Diksha. They're getting official access to the name of Krishna, to the Maha Mantra. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the holy name of Krishna doesn't wait for initiation to act. As soon as the tongue touches the Hare Krishna mantra, there's an effect. But we want all the help we can get. And by officially enrolling in the Bhakti Academy, you are entitled to more support, more credit. Sometimes, for example, people, especially these days, say about relationships, why bother getting married? The ceremony's got nothing to do with it. Just be together, that's it, Similarly, someone may say, why bother getting initiated? Krishna's in your heart. Krishna's in everyone's heart. Just let it flow. But in civilized countries, people still get married because the ceremony shows commitment, and any civilized human being wants commitment. A civilized human being doesn't want to simply throw himself or herself here and there without any committed relationship. So the marriage ceremony shows that commitment is a part of a serious relationship. Krishna is also a person. And by our making an official commitment, it means something, it shows something. So yes, initiation is a formality. It doesn't legislate what goes on in your heart. Still, it is a prescribed method for showing that we are sincere. Commitment indicates some sincerity. Of course, we have to fulfill the commitment. Harinam Diksha, taking initiation into the chanting of the holy name, means that we may not have in the beginning all the taste that we want from chanting, but we're willing to persevere. When we are sick, we have to take the medicine. The medicine is the only cure. So similarly, it's to be expected that in the immature stages of spiritual life, we're not always going to feel everything we want to feel when chanting. Just like in relationships, there are good days and bad days. Still, someone in a committed relationship goes on, and gradually steadiness is achieved, and gradually, if the couple sticks it out, there is smooth teamwork that develops after 20 years or so. Chanting is like that. There are the ups and downs. And then the steadiness, year after year, decade after decade, impresses Krishna. Yes, Krishna is impressed by steadiness. Steadiness is an essential feature of sadhana bhakti. Practicing devotional service because we're taking the prescription, no matter what our mind and body says. Now, I know that this is like heresy according to contemporary mindsets. To do something when you don't feel like it. Oh my God, how primitive, how Neanderthalish. To do something when you don't feel like it. How that's not the way life goes. But as Rupa Goswami explains in Sri Upadeshamrita, Nectar of Instruction, Syat Krishna Nam Charita Sitapriya Vijay. The holy name of Krishna is sweet like sugar candy, but we have to do some introspection and self-analysis and see that we're affected by the nescience of ignorance. Krishna's avidya shakti, his nescience potency. In contact with that, we've lost our taste for Krishna. So what to do then? Not every day you're going to feel like attentive chanting. Maybe even not every day you're going to feel like chanting. But you know, I must take my medicine. That's my only chance for my health to come back. So Nectar of Instruction, Sri Upadeshamrita, counsels us that simply day after day go on trying to hear the Hare Krishna mantra. And for sure, the natural spiritual taste within you will manifest. It's only because of disease that we don't taste the sweetness of the Hare Krishna mantra. We get glimpses, otherwise you wouldn't be here. You get glimpses. You get some realizations, otherwise you wouldn't have dropped your sinful activities. But you want to go deeper in the relationship, and that takes commitment and steady practice. So Rupa Goswami assures you that just steadily, attentively, day after day chant, and the natural relish will reawaken. So the Bhakti Society is meant to provide favorable support and conditions for you to chant Hare Krishna with attention. That's the main purpose of the organization, to provide impetus, stimulation, support, so that we can focus on chanting attention. You might say, well, why is an organization necessary? Why do we have this group here? I'll just do it on my own. But you have to be practical and understand the society that you're living in. Because of misleaders organizing human society, an atmosphere is created that is very discouraging for spiritual life. So you might have this fantasy that I'll do it on my own. I don't need these Prabhus. They give me a hard time. They don't appreciate my glories. They'll find out one day how great I am. You may feel like that, but these are delusions. We need a support group. We need to be part of a network that inspires us in dedication to chanting others. And that support group, that network of chanters counteracts the nescience that society is pushing in an organized way. Try to feel the pressure on you. Simply focus on economics. Simply be concerned with mundane politics. Simply be concerned with your body. And it's all about you and how you can feel satisfied. This is organized nations. Organized darkness. So there's all this pressure on you to stay in the darkness. So we need a counteracting force, a counteracting impetus. And that's what the network of chanters provides. That's what the support group of bhakti yogis provides. Otherwise, it's practically impossible that we're going to make it. Being in the association of devotees, I often explain, has its challenges. Anyone who's been around for some years has gone through various challenges. But after all is said and done, without the association of devotees, we would be nowhere. Day after day, chanting Hare Krishna. And I promise you, you will be so thankful in the future. Maybe you don't understand everything now, but gradually the taste for chanting thickens and becomes sweeter. Of course, everyone loves kirtan. But gradually your japa, your personal chanting, starts to become relishable, just like you can readily access the taste in the kirtan, the congregational chanting. Both are important, the congregational chanting and the individual japa practice. Just like there's so many devotees here who are engaged in sankirtan, the distribution of the glories of Krishna. That activity, as I often explain, the public distribution expands from your private cultivation of chanting. One is the inner manifestation, the other is the outer manifestation. The Society of Devotees inspires you to achieve the goal of offenseless chanting. We want to be mindful of the 10 offenses. Those who are taking first initiation, everyone should be aware of the 10 offenses and have a desire in the heart. I'll spend my whole life trying to overcome offensive chanting. And as I always point out, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that actually all the offenses to chanting can be avoided just by attentive chanting. So let us not be discouraged by our chanting not giving everything we want it to give. Let's be introspective and understand that we're in it for the long haul, the long run. And by dedication and commitment, we impress Krishna, and he reciprocates with us, allowing us to taste the nectar of chanting Hare Krishna. In the beginning, it's like everyone gets a free pass. Lord Chaitanya's mercy means, just like you heard from Dr. Mike this morning, he landed in New Zealand from Germany, seeking his fortune, seeking his pleasure. And within 2 weeks, his whole life changed. Why? He was in a Dunkin' Donut shop, and then a Harinam party goes by. He got a free pass. Someone gave him a flyer. Come to our outreach center there. But he didn't come. And then, a few days later, another chanting party goes by. And the ladies who gave him a flyer the first time recognized him. Oh, Mike. Influenced by these Vaikuntha angels. And finally decided to come. So how can he access the nectar of chanting Hare Krishna? He was a tourist, fresh off the plane from Germany. But when he hears the Harinam party, something's activated. So that's getting the free pass from Lord Chaitanya. And then he started attending the outreach center, participating in the kirtan. So you might say, someone like that, all right, began in this way, but what about after a couple of years? Will the novelty wear off like in a mundane relationship? You know, there's the honeymoon effect. According to social scientists who take statistics for everything. After 2 years in a marriage, materially speaking, you go right back to your set point of happiness before the marriage. The novelty wears off, the thrill fades, and it's the day-to-day. Talking about a material relationship. So is the chanting of Hare Krishna like that? Will it be like that? I know some of you are wondering. Maybe you're just feeling the new devotee buzz. So yes, there's something in the material energy that causes us to adapt to anything material. The fancy sociological term is adaptation. The circumstances around you, whatever you're doing, whoever you're doing it with, you get used to it. Will the Hare Krishna mantra be like that? Through an inattentive chanting, you run the risk of thinking it's like that. You start treating the Maha Mantra like it's some kind of transformation of the material energy, or some kind of ritual or calisthenics that you go through every morning. Like some kind of yoga asanas. I've got to do the downward dog pose. I've got to chant my japa. It comes like that. Due to our polluted mindset. But if we always refresh ourselves with the glories of the holy name, and if you read Bhagavatam, read Nectar of Devotion, read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, you'll always be abreast with the glories of chanting Hare Krishna. And that will prevent you from losing your vision and viewing chanting as a drudgery. It's all about attitude. Krishna wants to see your attitude. And sometimes, Krishna wants to see you beg. And we don't like that. I've never begged for anything. Sure you have. Consciously or unconsciously, you're begging the material energy. Please make me happy. Please gratify me. Please fulfill me. Make me feel complete. Yet, when it comes to bhakti, we say, oh, I never, why should I beg Krishna? I'm doing him a favor by serving him. He should be happy that I'm chanting his name and leave it at that. Why do I have to beg for a taste? But sometimes the circumstances in our spiritual life press our nose to the floor and we cry out for deeper chanting. And that's wonderful. We can make it through that so-called dry stage of chanting that may come upon us, but you have to be determined. Think of the times in your life when you really wanted to do something. I don't know what Mike went through in order to get money to come to New Zealand. Maybe he had to work very determinedly. Yes? Yeah. But you had that goal, right? Exactly. I'm earning money and I'm going on my overseas trip. What kind of work did you do?
It's like in a grey block. And a kind of grey block like DHL, just like, I don't know how you deliver it. Yeah, it's kind of, I just had to kind of unpack boxes and then prepare the things and pack them again.
How exciting.
2 months gone.
2 months?
Yeah.
And then you were gone?
Yeah.
Let's see, so he was determined, he had his goal in mind. I'm just unpacking boxes and packing them. I don't care. I've got my goal. So, bhakti requires that kind of determination and more. The lifetime career commitment. So again, there'll be challenges because you live in the material world with a material body. That means challenge. But it's all about how you handle the challenges and make it through. So don't have a naive utopian vision of existence in the material world, even as a bhakti yogi. The nature of Maya is to offer impediments. It's not that Maya is encouraging you to go back to Godhead, not directly, but indirectly Maya is. Just like you're walking down the street and all of a sudden a dog comes chasing after you. You start going faster. The dog may be nipping at your heels, but you keep going. So indirectly, Maya is chasing you back to Krishna, making you take more shelter of Krishna. So we need the society of devotees so we know how to handle challenges. There are tests. Krishna wants to see how, in any circumstance, we'll cling to him. That's part of developing true love. Even in mundane relationships, there are tests, right? One person wants to see, do you really care for me? Am I really number one in your life? I remember my mother. She tested my father before they were married. She was 19 or 20, and he was 20 or 21. And they were engaged. He was working on a ship, and the ship went all over the world. So my mother went to the harbor to meet him when the ship was coming in after a 2-month trip. So, my father, they met at the harbor and all that, and then they were walking to get the bus to wherever they were staying, and he to his parents' house, of course, and she to her parents' house. That's the way it was back then. Not that way now, but so as they were walking, he was explaining his travels And he said, you know, because they're both from staunch Christian homes. He said, you know, I've been all over the world, Morocco, Egypt, France, Spain. I've sailed here and there. I've seen that there are many ways to God. My mother looked at him, lifted up her hand, took off the engagement ring, handed it back to him. But my father didn't miss a beat. Really, no, actually what I meant was, we may think there are many ways to God, but there's only one way. My mother took the engagement ring back up. So, sometimes it seems that Krishna is testing us like that. But if we always remember our purpose, we can make it through any test and challenge. Think of the extraordinary example, inconceivable example of Srila Prabhupada sailing to the USA, having 2 heart attacks on the way over, landing in New York and walking off the ship, and it didn't make any difference whether he turned right or left, it was all the unknown. So challenges. Being in New York alone with no followers for a year, at the age, such an advanced age. Those kind of examples inspire us. And when we see devotees who are steady in their service, despite challenges, despite impediments, when we see that example, we become inspired. So please understand that we have all the tools and support necessary to make it through. And our prime strength is attentive chanting of Hare Krishna. For those who are taking second initiation, I'd like to talk about tolerance. Titiksha. Spiritual life requires that. There's not going to always be a situation, a material situation exactly to your liking. But even when you were a karmic worker, under the influence of the material energy, you had to perform austerities, you had to tolerate. Just like Mike was saying, he tolerated for 2 months, unpacking boxes and packing boxes. Just mindless labor, but he had his goal. So similarly, especially for those who are second initiated, they should know that one of their qualities, one of the Brahmana qualities they have to demonstrate is tolerance. As Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, Matra Sparshas tu Kaunteya, Shitoshna Sukha tu Gata. Winter and summer seasons come and go. Just like I heard a month ago or so in the UK, there was a huge heat wave. Everyone was unprepared. How was it here? Also here, heat wave? Yes, never happened in your memory, right?
Not since 1976.
So you had to tolerate. The service to Krishna had to go on. But material nature was providing some discomfort. But my point is, even for a material goal, you have to tolerate. So why can't we tolerate for Krishna's service? For tolerating material goals, what do you get as your reward? Nothing. All dissipates. But by tolerating in Krishna's service, you get the supreme reward. So those who are taking second initiation should understand the nectar of tolerance. Tolerating your body and mind, tolerating the influences in your body and mind due to past sinful activity. You tolerate it. You tolerate the material energy pushing on you, just like in a heat wave. You gotta tolerate that heat pushing on you, enveloping you. But because of your bhakti core, you make it through. This is what it means to be a yogi. So especially with those who are taking second initiation, you should have the knowledge and continue to acquire the knowledge that allows you to withstand the assaults from the material energy. And you'll be able to withstand if you properly situate yourself and keep properly situated. So yes, we are yogis in the real sense. We are yogis in devotion. So the mature yogi knows how to handle material nature. It requires tolerance, patience, determination. Those of you who've done physical yoga know that when you first start, your joints are all aching, your muscles are tight, but you tolerate it. Similarly, the full, complete yoga, bhakti yoga, involves tolerance for the sake of achieving a higher goal. So again, for our second initiates, please understand, toleration is a virtue. The current society is teaching you, as soon as you don't feel like doing something, you don't do it, and as soon as there's some discomfort, you've got to turn your whole life upside down. But in bhakti, you try to be as comfortable as you can in this world without forgetting what is your main mission. Your focus is on your main mission in life. Along the way, as you're focused on that main mission, you may make an adjustment here or there to be more comfortable, but that's not your main purpose. So we're not fanatics. Oh, there's a heat wave. I can't cool down because that's submitting to the material energy. No, we do the necessary to be as comfortable as we can, but it's not our main portfolio. It's not our main mission. It's something you do on the side, like a side dish. Our main mission is engaging in Krishna's service. So a brahmana, a second initiated person, should know that. Simple living means don't let external situations run your whole life. Sometimes you just have to tolerate that. Hold steady with your main mission, which is to become Krishna. His body and mind are packed with so many influences from countless births. So sometimes you have to tolerate that. But because we're absorbed in sacrificing for Krishna's pleasure, the toleration has a nectarian aspect to it. So the first initiates, please remember the goal of attentive chanting. And our second initiates, please know that tolerance to tikshila is a natural part of spiritual development. All right, we'll give out the names. First one is Sam. Please come up and offer your dandavats and out loud, please. Pranam mantras out loud.
Namo Vishnu Krishna Krishna Gita Shute Bhaktivedanta Swami Initiation. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvashesha Srinivadi Pashtati Deshatari. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishna Bhutale Srimate Devamrita Swami Initiation Prachare Puradaksham Cha Bhaktachara Pravinata Paratatapi Karunyam Yasya Sarajate Namaha.
What are the 4 rules?
No intoxication, no meat eating, no illicit sex, and no gambling.
No meat, fish, or eggs.
No meat, fish, no.
People make those distinctions these days. I don't eat red meat. I eat fish, I eat chicken. And what to do every day?
Chant at least 16 rings of the Mahamantra.
Mm.
And read Srila Prabhupada's book.
All right, Sam. Your new name is Vamshi Vilasi. Vamshi Vilasi refers to Krishna, the flute player.
Wow.
He has a flute called Vamshi. And Vilasi means he plays it. Vamshi Vilasi Das. Hare Krishna. Etienne, s'il vous plaît. So as everyone knows, Etienne is another contribution from New Zealand. He first started his bhakti there. And after completing his visa run, we sent him to Wales to partake in the supportive atmosphere. What are the 4 rules?
No intoxication, no illicit sex, no eating of meat, fish or eggs, and no gambling.
And what to do every day?
Chanting at least 16 rounds of the Maha Mantra.
All right. Your new name is Gauranga Gopal Das. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, Krishna is Lord Chaitanya. As we explained this morning, sometimes Krishna manifests as Lord Chaitanya, and sometimes Lord Chaitanya manifests as Krishna. They both are Swayam Bhagavan, the original personality of God. Dylan. Hare. Krishna, Krishna. All right, what are the 4 rules?
No gambling, no meat, fish or eggs, no illicit sex, and no intoxication.
And what to do every day?
Chant a minimum of 16 rounds and read Sri Prabhupada's books.
All right, your new name is Kaylee Kanana. Kanana means forest and Kaylee means pastimes. So Kaylee Kanana refers to the forest where Krishna has his rasa pastimes. Tanya. Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. What are the 4 rules?
No intoxication, no illicit sex, no eggs, meat, fish, no gambling.
And what to do every day?
To chant at least 16 rounds and read no Gita, Sri Prabhupada.
All right. On this Janmashtami, your new name is Nanda Gehani Devi Dasi. Nanda Gehani means Nanda Maharaj's queen, Yashoda Devi. The queen, the wife of Nanda Maharaj. Krishna's mother is Yashoda Mai, so Nanda Gehani is another name for Mother Yashoda. So, those who are receiving second initiation, I need some threads to chant on. You can come this evening. With mantra sheets and all that. All right.
Okay, so we carry on. first thing to do is to perform touchment ceremony, so that the friends.
And we want to thank the senior Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis here in Wales for supporting and guiding these devotees. Essential, their efforts are essential. And please always remember that.
So, this ashram, I'll chant a mantra, we'll chant together actually. And at the end of that we'll do ashram, which is sitting on the right palm. And looking to the water and chant the mantra. So Om Keshvaya Namaha, friends, Om Madhvaya, and then cleanse the head, and then all the right line. So the mantra we chant together goes like this. So Om Apavitra,
Om Apavitra,
Pavitro,
Pavitrova,
Sarvastam,
Sarvastam,
Gatopiva,
Gatopiva, Yasmaret,
Mundari Kaksha,
Mundari Kasha,
Savya,
Savya,
Yantara,
Yantara,
Suchi,
Suchi,
Sri Vishnu,
Sri Vishnu,
Sri Vishnu,
Sri Vishnu,
Sri Vishnu,
Sri Vishnu.
So then take your spoon in your right hand, a couple of drops of water into your right hand, and just go up. Take the spoon into your left, do the both ways mudra, place a few drops of water into your right palm, and chant the mantra Om Madhvaya. Sorry, my apologies. Should be pronunciation. Om Keshvaya. And take a couple of drops of water into your hand. And we'll chant the first mantra again. Om Apavitra,
Om Apavitra,
Pavitrova,
Pavitrova,
Sarvastam,
Sarvastam,
Gatopiva,
Gatopiva,
Yasmaret,
Yasmaret,
Mundari Kaksham,
Mundari Kaksham,
Savya,
Savya,
Yantara,
Yantara,
Shuchi,
Shuchi,
Sri Vishnu,
Sri Vishnu,
Sri Vishnu,
Sri Vishnu,
Sri Vishnu,
Sri Vishnu.
And then again. Close the left hand. Few drops of water into the right hand. Raise it into the chant the mantra. Om Keshvaya Namaha. And then sit together. And then the mantra. Om Narayana Namaha. That's it. And then the mantra Om Madhvaya. And then we'll chant the first mantra again. Om Apavitra,
Om Apavitra,
Pavitrova,
Pavitrova,
Sarvastam,
Sarvastam,
Gatopiva,
Gatopiva,
Yasmaret,
Yasmaret,
Mundari Kaksha,
Mundari Kasha,
Savya,
Savya,
Yantara,
Yantara,
Shuchi,
Shuchi,
Sri Vishnu,
Sri Vishnu,
Sri Vishnu,
Sri Vishnu,
Sri Vishnu,
Sri Vishnu.
And then do that for the last one. Take the left hand, start. Few drops of water into the right one. Om Keshvaya Namaha. the fire. So then, each of these Vedic ceremonies has a different fire that is called, and this samskar, the fire is called samudbhava. So we're going to chant the mantra. Om samudbhava namagne yadacha agne tvam samudbhava namasi alayami stapayami. Karupipaya swagatam kuru. So then when you call an honoured guest into your midst, you have to offer some worship. So we're going to offer a little arati to the fire.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Ram. Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna. Krishna.
So then for a little food as you're waiting.
Krishna. Hare Rama. Everyone can chant or read a book out loud or something. Hare Krishna.
Just a personal feeling. First offering is by me, and you don't take any offerings. And then we start chanting the chant. So the ones that I think you'll know I'll chant just as we do that chant. Other ones I'll chant word for word. Sri Chaitanya
Krishna Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dhanati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raganam Tam Srivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Krishna Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Balaram Sagana Ravita Shri Vishakam Tam Sha
So now, chant Devamrita Swami's Initiation. So we will chant this out. Sorry, I don't. So I have to rely on the rules and what we used to do together. So,
Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Srimati Devamrita Swami Initiation Prachare Purva Daksham Cha Bhaktachara Vidya Parakadani Karunyam Yasya Sarveshade Namaha Swaha 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 Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Initiation Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschakarine Swaha 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 Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Nam Swaha 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 Swaha. We don't chant these as full phrases at all. So everyone can repeat. Sri Varshadanavi Devi Sri Varshadanavi Devi Daitaya Kripadaye Daitaya Kripadaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Daine Prabhave Namaha Adurajvala Adurajvala Premadya Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Rupanuga Viruda Viruda Apasiddhanta Viruda Apasiddhanta Mantaharine Mantaharine Swaha 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 Shri Gaura Namo Gaura Kishoraya Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambhote Vipralambara Sambhote Param Vijayate Namaha Param Vijayate Namaha Swaha 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 Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchitananda Namine Satchitananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Valayate Rupanuga Valayate Swaha 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 Gauri Bhava Bhumestvam Gauri Bhava Bhumestvam Yudhishta Sajjana Priyaha Yudhishta Sajjana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathayate Namaha Shri Jagannathayate Namaha Swaha 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 Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyascha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Name Gaura Tishe Namaha Swaha 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 Swaha
Bhaktarupa Swarupakam
Bhaktarupa Swarupakam
Bhakti-avatara Bhakti-akyam
Bhakti-avatara Bhakti-akyam
Namami Bhakta-shaktikam
Namami Bhakti-shaktikam
Swaha
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 Hey Krishna Karuna
Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute
Swaha
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 Namamandamate Gati
Mandamate Gati
Matsarasya Kadam Pujao
Matsarasya Padam Pujao
Radha Radha Madhana Mohano
Radha Madhana Mohano
Swaha
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 Virvya-Vrindaranya
Virya-Vinuranya
Kalpajumada
Kalpajumada
Srimad Ratnasara
Srimad Ratnaya
Singhasasto
Singhasasto
Srimad Radha Shila Govinda
Srimad Radha Shila Govinda
Devo
Devo
Krishna Devi
Presthavi
Sevyamano
Sevyamano
Smarami
Smarami
Swaha
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 Sriman Rasarasam Prasarambi
Srimad Rasa Prasarambi
Vamsi Vatadastita
Vamshivata Vipastuta
Harsham Venus Vanai Gopai
Karsham Vedam Sunai Gopai
Gopina Shri Stuna
Gopina Veshilestuna
Swaha
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 Bhakta Kanchana
Rangi Radhaya Vrindavaneshwari Vishadavanusate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye
Swaha
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 Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda
Swaha
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 Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Swaha
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 So I'm going to do the final offering. So you should all have a banana in your plate. So if you could stand up and hold that banana between your folded hands. So that's good. So what we're going to do this time, we're going to chant mantra 3 times. Every time I'm going to make an offering. First 2 times is offering only ghee. And on the third swaha, third sex you just move that case by move, set them on fire. The third time you offer your banana into the fire. Now because we want to try and keep the smoke down, if you could arrange them on the outside of the fire, so they're being touched by the flame, they're not extinguishing it and creating the smoke ball in the room. Because the Torah hasn't killed them for the damage. Quite right, so. Namo Brahmana Devaya.
Namo Brahmana Devaya.
Namo Brahmana Hitaya Cha.
Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha.
Jagaditaya Krishnaya.
Jagaditaya Krishnaya.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Swaha.
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 Swaha. Swaha.
Namo Brahmana Devaya.
Namo Brahmana Devaya.
Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha.
Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha.
Jagaditaya Krishnaya.
Jagaditaya Krishnaya.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Swaha.
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 Namo Brahmana Devaya.
Namo Brahmana Devaya.
Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha.
Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha.
Jagaditaya Krishnaya.
Jagaditaya Krishnaya.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Swaha.
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 So, all that's left to do now is to offer Mahavir Devamrita. Om Bhur Swaha.
Om Bhur Swaha.
Vaishnavaya Namo Namaha. Om Bhur Swaha.
Om Bhur Swaha.
Achyutaya Namo
Achyutaya Namo Namaha.
Om Swaha Swaha.
Om Swaha Swaha.
Narayana Namo
Narayana Namaha.
Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha.
Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha.
Idam Manantaya Namo. So then there's one final where I chant prayers for forgiveness for mistakes that I've made, which you might have noticed. I hope you didn't. So, Om Manchahinam Kriyahinam Bhaktihinam Janagana Yakpujitam Maya Devam Paripurnam Jadastume Swaha.
Swaha.
Aparada Sahasrani Kriyantam Kriyandayami Shammaya Asahamiti Bhammatva Shama Swaha Madhusudana Swaha.
Swaha.
Om Patigana Govinda Nami Bhakta Rashiti Vihi Samsmiti Samsmita Anand Sandaya Nam Swaha.
Swaha.
So, if everyone now could start, we could have kirtan start.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Jai Jai. Hey Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jai. Hey Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda 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 Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai, Gopala Jai Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Om Vishnupada Subhanallah Stories of the Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Guru Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Prem Shakaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivastava Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Shamakun, Radhakun, Giri Govardhan ki, Vrindavan Dham ki, Navadvip Dham ki, Ganga Mai ki, Yamuna Mai ki, Tulasi Devi ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki, Gaura Premanandi. All glories to Some Lord. All glories to Some Lord. All glories to Some Lord. All glories to Sisi Guru Gauranga.